It's been a great week in the WWE.
It has been a great week. We'll get to all that in a second, but we've got to start off, unfortunately, with some rather sad news. As many of you out there may know, Miss Elizabeth, one of the great names from WWE history, passed away, unfortunately, yesterday in Atlanta, Georgia. Certainly all of our best wishes and condolences go out to Miss Elizabeth and her family and friends. Certainly an unfortunate situation that happened yesterday.
Yeah, I was actually driving home from the airport yesterday afternoon when I got the phone call, and I was shocked. You know, the person who called me said, "You're not going to believe this. Miss Elizabeth died." I said, "What? You're crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't get it."
She's one of the great personalities
Right.
In WWE history. You know, really, when the WWE started launching, late 80s, early 90s, certainly Miss Elizabeth was there with the Macho Man Randy Savage, and then into the 90s in WCW with Lex Luger. All of our guests this afternoon will touch on her and talk about her a little bit. We've got a great show in store for everybody. Droz is going to join us in a couple of minutes. Also, Taz will be here. Sean O'Haire will be here. And of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin will join us a little bit later on right here on Bite This. Recently, Rhea signed this past Monday night, Josh, as the new co-general manager of Raw. And it absolutely exploded last Monday night in Boston.
It was a great Raw from top to bottom. I mean, we saw Goldberg with that spear. He got one of those guys from 3 Minute Warning through the wall. That was last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that thing through that wall. Oh, it was awesome. I remember watching Raw.
You don't ever know what day it is most of the time.
No, most of the time I really don't. I mean, I know what happened on SmackDown more or less. It was a great SmackDown. We saw the debut of Mr. American. He looks a lot like Hulk Hogan. But he's a new guy.
Yeah, we'll talk all about it throughout the hour. And if you want to give us a shout and talk to some of our guests or talk to us, give us a call at 1-888-LIVE-WWE. And, of course, you can get into our chat room as well and give us your thoughts on anything you may want to talk about over the course of the next hour to an hour and a half, depending on how good the guests are today.
But
I think they're going to be good. So I think we're not going to waste any more time. Also, a little bit later on, we're going to show everybody exclusive footage from what happened after Backlash as The Rock addressed the crowd in Worcester, Mass. So you folks won't want to miss that either. So a lot to get to here in the hour. And Droz is going to join us in just a couple of moments. Droz is on. Droz, the author of Droz's 2 Cents, of course, each and every week in WWE.com. Droz, what's going on? It's great to talk to you today, buddy.
Good to talk to you guys. How's it going there?
It's good. How are you doing?
Droz?
Not too much, not too much. How you been?
We've been great, except that Josh doesn't know what day it is.
Well, what's up with that?
Well, I know it's Friday, about 4 in the afternoon or so.
Okay, May 2nd.
May 2nd. Now, we're on a roll now. Droz, did you have a chance to check out Backlash?
Yes, I did.
And your thoughts?
You know what? I enjoyed it. My picks went so-so, but I figured out why. I actually went 4-4, which wasn't bad. But the problem was I didn't take into account one. I picked Rocky beating Goldberg. Well, of course I didn't realize somebody's taken off again. But anyway, it's still, I guess after 3 spears and a jackhammer, I think you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to get up from that, are you?
That's kind of a given on that one. And then, of course, in the 6-man tag match, why I picked Heartbreak Kid and those guys, and I don't know what I was thinking because Triple H is on the other side, and he's got that Bob Backlund thing going right now. He doesn't lose.
Yeah, but at the same
and
time,
the sledgehammer.
Well, yeah, but he needed the sledgehammer to defeat Kevin Nash and the other 2 guys, so it wasn't that far-fetched of a pick.
No, that's very true. It's very true. I mean, but when he broke the sledgehammer out, I was like, oh. So I was bummed out about that. So I could have ended up, 6-2, but I ended up 4-4, so it wasn't too bad.
Not bad at all.
But I don't think anybody expected what the Big Show did to Rey Mysterio to happen.
I'll tell you what, poor Ray got. How's he doing, by the way? I was watching SmackDown, and they were giving a little update, but he's doing better, I guess?
Yeah, word is right now that he is okay, and hopefully he'll be back sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, that was to say the least, a vicious hit. He literally, Show doesn't know his own strength, but literally swung him like a baseball bat into that pillar, and with him not being able to protect himself and landing on his head, that was a very scary sight.
Droz, let me ask you real quick, how do you feel about the SmackDown locker room ostracizing the Big Show after what he did? Do you think he went too far, went over the line? Taz said that he broke the code. Me and Coach aren't wrestlers. We don't really know what that code is. If you can, give us some detail on that.
Yeah, I think there's a limit even with wrestlers on how far you go, and he might have gone a little bit too far, and then again, with what he did, of course it's not supposed to end up that way. It's not supposed to end up with him landing on his forehead, but when doing those things, you never know. So then coming out and beating up on poor Funaki like he did, I was very happy to see Brock Lesnar show up and call him out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the day when those two lock up and go at it head-to-head, because Show was complaining there's nobody big enough for him. Yeah, Lesnar's not his size, but I think he can sure as hell handle him.
I agree with that. Well, Droz, moving back, whichever way you're looking at it, to Raw on Monday night. A lot of people have been talking about Goldberg since his arrival here, and certainly arrived Sunday night at Backlash, soundly defeating The Rock. But I think we found out a lot about Goldberg on Monday night, a little bit about Goldberg's personality, the reason that Goldberg has come here. Your thoughts on Goldberg's impact, not only Sunday night at Backlash, but Monday on Raw as well?
Well, I mean, I know the fans, just from their emails I was getting, things like that, were looking forward to having him come in. He put on a great, I have to admit, I was not so much shocked, but I was glad to see the performance that, that he put on Sunday. But coming out Monday night and, with Jericho's highlights, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that he got out there in front of the people. It wasn't a 1 and 2 word answer. I mean, he went out there, he was excited. Telling people to bring it, bring it. Come on, if you want some, bring it on. And he's letting the people know that he's here. He's here to get involved, earn his stripes, and I think that's what the people want. They want to know that he wants to earn his stripes here, and that that's what everybody, I think, in the back and everywhere else wants to hear that also. In
your opinion, name me some guys that you would love to see Goldberg in a, for lack of a better word, a feud with. Give me a list of guys and why.
Ooh, jeez.
I stumped Droz today, Josh. I stumped Droz today.
Yes, you did. Oh, man. I don't even know. I mean, well, the thing that's going to go on with Big Show here, I think it's great. We've seen Show, throughout the years here kind of have a rise, up and down, up and down. I think these two could... Oh, I'm going off on another whole tangent here.
That's okay. This is your forum, Droz. This is your show.
Oh, yeah. Well, not exactly, but thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what? I really don't even know who Goldberg could feud with right now. It's up in the air. I really don't know.
Well, I think there's a lot of guys, when you look at a guy like Christian, who has talked a lot, but if you see what he does, he talks and then Christian runs. Chris Jericho, obviously there's already a built-in feud there. A few people realized before last Monday, Droz, that was actually true, that down in WCW, Goldberg refused to work with Chris Jericho.
And I think, and digging a little deeper, I think the reasons behind it were not so much that Goldberg was worried about it, was the fact that I don't think Goldberg felt he deserved to be in the ring with him.
I think you're absolutely right.
And for as long as Chris has been around, and as great a wrestler he is, that was such a slap in the face for him. And I think now that Goldberg's here, and for them, to have Chris's show out there, for them to talk, it's a business. You do what you have to do. But I think it went well. But you're right. I think they could have a feud. They could really have a feud inside a feud and get some things taken care of, because I'm sure Chris would love to get in the ring and wrestle him.
Real quick, before we let you go, we've got a full show today, but your thoughts on Stone Cold coming back as a co-Raw general manager?
It was great to see him throw that wrench in the whole scheme of things. Bischoff, when he came in from day one, he does his own thing. He causes problems with everybody. And having Stone Cold now as co-chairman, that it's great for the people. You don't know what's going to happen now, and he's back and he's involved with everything. And that's what the people want, is Stone Cold involved and making Bischoff's life a living hell.
All right, Droz, we appreciate it. Got to run.
Thanks, Droz.
All right, guys, you take care.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right, of course, that is Droz, the author of Droz's 2 Cents, right here on WWE.com. And because we are a fan-friendly show, we're wishing a happy birthday to Pat. Pat, happy birthday, one of our great fans in the Bite This chat room. Happy birthday, pal. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Sean O'Hare on the phone. But as we go to break, we're going to take a look at what happened as we went off the air after The Rock was defeated by Goldberg, as Rock addressed the crowd in Worcester, Massachusetts.
This was so cool, Joe.
It was cool. It was cool. And if you haven't seen it, take a look at this. We'll be right back. So you see what you miss if you don't go to a live event show. You miss stuff like that. The Rock saying goodbye to Worcester and saying goodbye to a lot of us for a while at least. The Rock has to go away. Real quick, Susan T., who was in our chat room, who's annoyed by me bouncing on my chair, If you have a better chair for me to sit in, please send it right now, and I will definitely sit in it. But moving on. Certainly The Rock, it was nice to see The Rock say thank you to the fans. Whether you like The Rock or you hate The Rock, there's no discounting how great The Rock is.
He's an entertainer, 100, 1,000%. He's going to be missed. He's going to be missed by a lot of people.
I know it. But it was a great night at Backlash in Worcester, and The Rock was great, as always. And, folks, still to come right here on Bite This, Stone Cold Steve Austin will join us, the new co-general manager of Raw. We'll get the Rattlesnakes' thoughts on being back in the mix. Also, Sean O'Hare will join us in just a few minutes, plus the ever-quotable Taz will be here as well. He's your favorite guy.
He is. That's going to be great when he's here.
You know what I'm going to ask you on the air when Taz gets on the air? I'm going to ask you this, because a lot of people out there may or may not know, but Josh gets to ride with Taz every week. He's actually their driver. Josh drives. Taz and Cole sit in the back seat, and you just drive them wherever they want to go, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Pretty much. Then you sit in the car and you wait for them to get done whatever they're doing.
Well, if they want to go work out, they let me go to the gym with them. If we go tan, they let me tan and everything like that.
Well, what's it like to hang out with Taz, the most miserable man on the planet?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. We were in last week. See, I can't remember what date. It's hard for me to remember what cities we're in. We were in SmackDown was in Manchester, New Hampshire. And we went and worked out in the morning, and we went back to the hotel, and me and Michael Cole were in the front seat, and Taz was behind us. We said, Taz, we're going to go CD shopping. Do you want to go with us? He goes, I'm not going anywhere with you two guys. He got out of the car and he went inside the hotel, and we didn't understand why he didn't want to go and.
Well, we know how miserable Michael Cole is.
Yeah.
We know how miserable Taz is, which makes them a great pair on SmackDown.
Absolutely.
They work well together.
Yeah.
But the fact that you get thrown into the mix, a guy who everybody in the chat room thinks you used to belong to New Kids on the Block. You're such a little hottie. You're cute. He's so popular with the 18 and 19-year-old girls.
That's true.
Somebody has to be.
I know, I got that demographic all cornered off to myself.
Somebody has to be.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Yeah, Taz's another one of his questions is that he used to be a wrestler and he used to travel with the wrestlers, and now he has to travel with me and Michael Cole, and he doesn't get that sometimes either. I ask him because because we're so cool, me and Cole, and he says no.
Well, you are cool, and Cole's cool. But real quick, we have a Carmel Taker. I can only imagine who that is. Wants to know if I am single. I don't get that much attention from women like you do. I mean, you're out and about. The women love you. They flock to you. And but I'm still single, but I do all right.
Coach does very well for himself. He's being modest.
And here's a guy that I've hung out with in the past, but now is doing his own thing and quite frankly scares us and a lot of people. Joining us now, you're familiar with him. You see him every week at SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Sean O'Hare is on the phone. Sean, what's going on? This is the coach and Josh Matthews.
Hey, Coach. What's up, Josh? How you guys doing?
What's up, Sean?
How are you?
Good. Very good.
Well, my friend, you've been in a pretty good spot the last few weeks. Talk about last Sunday to start things off at Backlash. Your first singles match, pay-per-view singles match since you've been here in the WWE. Your thoughts on being elevated in the spot you're in right now?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, I can't be denied, but I can't be denied, the position I'm in because, I've worked so hard for it. But, I'm happy and there's no complaints and I'm just ecstatic. I'm ready to go all the way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Sean O'Hare. I mean, he was a big star in WCW.
Yeah.
When WCW was acquisitioned by this company, Sean O'Hare went down to OVW. Right, Sean, OVW, correct?
Yes,
OVW, and, now he's back where he was. And you saw SmackDown last night. He was in the ring with Roddy Piper, Mr. McMahon, and Mr. America at the end of the show.
Yeah, it's got to be cool to be running alongside one of the greatest names of all time, Roddy Piper.
Oh, it's unbelievable, and the guy is so cool.
What about, talk about when you went to OVW and a lot of the things, because you have an extensive martial arts background, but what kind of things did you learn in OVW to kind of convert and make your strength for you here in the WWE?
I learned more of how to conform my martial arts to a wrestling, format, and because a lot of the moves I'll use in martial arts will be illegal. And, but also, the ring time, the experience, and the psychology, everything sort of came together.
When you talk about the difference between your martial arts and the WWE, how much does competing here differ from a tough man contest or the martial arts contest that you've done in the past?
How does it compare to it?
Yeah, how does it compare? How is it different? And how you approach it?
Well, it's different as in.
Well,
I'm sorry, my phone's breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get through it.
Okay. Well, it compares a lot of ways very similar. To get ready for a martial arts competition or a professional fight that you train, but now in wrestling there's so many different aspects involved. I mean, people are sometimes you're fighting two people. People are jumping you from from the backstage and everything like that. So you really have to have your eyes and ears open.
That's a good
point.
point.
It's not so much of a contest. Am I getting feedback from you guys or what?
No, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
You sound okay.
You sound fine.
Okay.
Your thoughts on your new character, because it's somewhat of a controversial character, and some of the things you say are very controversial, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that you say that a lot of people have been wanting to say for a long time. Talk about your development with your new character and what you think about that.
Well, Coach, I think you know me, so I don't think I'd call this a character.
I didn't want to say it.
I think it's, hey, I get to be Sean O'Haire, and
yes.
So let's run with that personality. That's me. You know me. We've
yes,
been out
absolutely.
several times, and that's the way I think, and it was just I just started being more vocal about it, and it just seems to come across really well.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it is what most people want. It's the little voice inside your head going, I want to do this, but it's not because it's not deemed by society as the right way to think or the right thing to do. Why does that make it wrong and why does it make it right? And I just point those out. I don't say it's wrong or right. I just say, why don't you think about it a little bit more?
Now, Sean, you're a guy that was, tag team champions down in the WCW. You were there when Goldberg was there. What do you think the fact that Goldberg has come here, and last week on Raw we addressed it, really came in a top position, taking on The Rock in the first pay-per-view. You're from where you sit, from being in the WCW with Goldberg, and now Goldberg is here. What kind of things do you think Goldberg will have to work on in his adjustment to come here?
I knew Bill down in WCW, and I mean the guy, super guy, great athlete. I just think that it's going to be more of a WCW wasn't as much as a team as WWE is.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas as we fight each other, we have to also work together.
Yes.
Whereas in WCW, it was screw everybody else and do what the hell you wanted to. And his own, sink or swim kind of thing. And screw over anybody you could. And not that he was like that, not that I'm saying I was like that either. It was just that's how it was. People that we had to deal with watching your back all the time. So you're a little paranoid all the time.
Well, cool. Well, my friend, we've got a couple of guys on the line who want to ask you a question, if that's all right.
Fine.
We're going to take the first caller. It's going to be Jared. Jared, you on?
Yes.
Jared, how's it going? You're on Bite This with Sean O'Haire. Go ahead.
Hello. I just wanted to say, who inspired you of becoming a wrestler?
I'm sorry, what?
Who inspired you on becoming a wrestler?
Advice on becoming a wrestler?
Inspired.
Who inspired you to become a wrestler?
Who inspired me to become a wrestler? I really like running around in my underwear a lot and beat people up. So that's the only way I could really do it and get paid to do it. So, no. Just the athleticism involved and the entertainment value of the business is what made me really attracted to the business and want to become a wrestler.
It's interesting because there aren't a lot of guys over the course of ever really that have gone from martial arts and shoot fighting to here and have become successful. But you're one of the few guys that has. I mean, that's got to make you feel pretty good.
It does, and it's so weird that happens because there's such a similar thing too. It's just retraining your mind to think a certain way. This is a martial arts in a sense. It's an art to be able to do what we do and to entertain at a high value. To really be able to do it well, it's an art. So if you think of it in an artistic way, I think you can retrain your mind to do that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, in Seattle, at WrestleMania, as you know, Tito Ortiz was there, and Tito Ortiz is, for people out there that aren't familiar, is the Ultimate Fighting Champion right now, and he's a tremendous athlete. And I was talking to him for a little bit and asked him if he would ever entertain thoughts of coming here to the WWE, and he said that he would never be able to do it. He said, I would never be able to do this because the athletes here are too good. He said, I'm a fighter. And it was hard for me to believe that a guy as tough as him, I've watched him many times as well as you have, Sean, that said that he would not be able to do this.
Yeah, I talked to Tito when I was there at WrestleMania, and he was a real nice guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't mention that to me, but I could see what he was saying. Some guys are just, they're ground and pound them where, is my background was more of a gymnastics, martial artist point of view, where that is a fighting point, and mine was even more of an entertainment point before, and I just used it to fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's so cool for us, especially Josh and I. We talk about it all the time, to talk to guys like you that have so much of a different background than what we're used to,
right?
And get your thoughts. And obviously, Sean, you and I have talked about it a million times, so it's very cool. But we know you're busy, my friend. We're going to let you go. But we appreciate you joining us today on Bite This. All right?
Oh, it's my pleasure, Josh. Coach, you guys take it easy.
Later, Sean.
Hey, we'll see you. We'll see you in a couple weeks in Charlotte at Judgment Day. Okay?
All right, I'll see you the pay-per-view.
Okay,
Bye.
Buddy. Take care.
He's not telling us anything that we don't already know.
Yeah, I know. Sean O'Hare, tremendous. Last few weeks has really started to step up his game,
no doubt,
and become a big-time player.
Yeah, he's huge too. You look at he's huge.
He's ripped and doing his thing with Roddy Piper. So that's great. We're trying to get Taz. What a shock. Taz is probably, last time that I did Bite This, we called Taz. You know what he was doing?
What was he doing?
Taz was getting an ice cream cone. Do you guys remember this? Taz was getting an ice cream cone. We're calling him, and he's like getting it. We're like, Taz, one scoop, not two. One.
Taz, he doesn't eat ice cream anymore. He's on this whole new strict diet. Maybe he'll talk about it when he's here on the show.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm going to say that you said that.
No. Yeah, we could. Maybe he'll want to talk about it. It's really interesting. This whole new thing that he's on, this whole new training program that Taz has been adapted to.
Really?
Yeah, it's really crazy at the hotels too. Maybe we can get him to divulge some of the information.
Right. Well, while we wait to get Taz on the phone, and
let's talk about X-Men.
Let's watch Linda naming Austin.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Well, we're waiting for Taz, and of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin still to come right here on Bite This. But we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to take you back to Raw and watch Linda McMahon, who appeared out of seemingly nowhere to announce that there would be a new co-general manager on Raw. And I can tell you firsthand that Boston's Fleet Center came unglued. Let's take a look. It certainly was an electric night last Monday night in Boston as Stone Cold Steve Austin reappointed. Now the co-general manager of Raw. Let's waste no more time. Joining us now on the phone is the Texas Rattlesnake himself from Los Angeles. Stone Cold, what's going on, and welcome to Bite This.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just hanging out, trying to kill some time, getting ready to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia to further get involved with the co-general manager deal with my new deal going to WWE, so I'm looking forward to it.
And now, Steve, last Monday, as we just saw a few seconds ago, you came out. It had to feel great, as it always does when you come out and the crowd goes ballistic. What's it like for you now to be back in the mix in a different role?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, we just started, last Monday, and I was wondering, Boston's always been a good town for me. But when I walked out, I was thinking to myself, okay, they might crap all over this idea of Stone Cold being co-general manager. So I didn't know, really what to expect. But man, when they blew the roof off the place, believe me,
It's to keep Eric Bischoff in line on Raw.
Well, that's the thing I think most people, Steve, are looking forward to, is the fact that Eric Bischoff for the last almost year or so has really done whatever he wants, and now I think people are looking forward to you kind of putting the Stone Cold Steve Austin touch on Raw.
Well, and me and Eric Bischoff have a storied past going all the way back to WCW when the saw fit to fire me because I tore my tricep off my elbow. And, I've been watching, when I took my little break and I was watching Eric and he came in, and I didn't see really that he had any change in his mentality, the way he operated. He's still an arrogant, cocky piece of crap. And hell, I'm looking forward to do a bunch of stuff as a general manager. You're damn right. If anybody keep him in line, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Now, with you being back, can you talk a little bit about, because a lot of them made about your health and how healthy you are. Can you talk a little bit about how you're feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel pretty decent. I mean, just deal with my health is, I had levels 3 or 4 fused 3 years ago. And problem is I need 2 other levels fused. And, just a few nerve problems here and there and stuff like that. But, right now, it just seems like that fusion 3 years ago was yesterday. And I ain't ready to go into the knife again, much less for two levels rather than 1 this time. And just that being what it is, I can't physically, night after night, if I could go back in time and change it to a different carcass and do this thing over and go up down the road 300 days a year like I used to, and in front of WWE fans selling out arenas, I'd do it. But I can't. I'm into reality. I got 2 bad levels other than one I have fixed. So here I am. And but make no mistake about it. I mean, I think wrestling is why I was put here, and I'm very fortunate to have my job with WWE, and I love it, and that's why I choose to stick around. I could go do a lot of other things, but I love the wrestling business, and I love WWE. I love being Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's who and what I am.
And I think
love having you.
no
Exactly.
kidding. All the fans would say the same things as well as us. But well, we got to ask you about this now that the man has finally arrived here. Everybody talked about it a few years ago. Stone Cold, you were here. Goldberg was in WCW. But your thoughts on the fact that now Goldberg has arrived in the WWE with so much fanfare?
It's interesting. I thought his window of opportunity was obviously a couple of years ago when I was around, hotter than hell, and a few more people were hotter than they are now. But anyway, it comes as a great shot in the arm for the company. The guy did well down there. It's a whole different ballgame up here. But, the match with Rock at Backlash was all right. But his performance on this past Monday Night Raw was excellent. So I think, it's a case of Bill hadn't been in a damn ring in a couple of years.
Yeah.
He hadn't got a chance to remember who and what he is. I think that's what he's going to do now that he gets his a couple more shows in behind him, gets back out on the road, and does whatever he does. But, hey, man, I think it's a good shot in the arm for the company, and I wish the best for the guy. We need people.
This team, the Texas Rattlesnake, you developed a lot of that stuff on your own, came up with the ideas, and it really took off. What does Goldberg have to do now in order to have him take off like you did?
Well, I don't know. It's we got to. He never really did talk a whole lot down there in WCW, so it's all going to depend on Bill. I mean. I never did wait for someone to sit there and give me ideas. I went for it, and I was never designed. When they hired me, they brought me in to be a mechanic.
Uh-huh.
And then, I remember one time calling Vince McMahon aside in Worcester, Mass. And that was back when they were editing my lines. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, how come you're editing my lines? He goes, well, you're kind of entertaining the people back at post-production at the studio. I told him, I said, hey, Vince, I'm 6'2", 250. You got a bald head, black trunks, and a goatee. I said, if you take my personality away from me, I can't compete with nobody, but if you give it to me, I can compete with everybody here, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I went out there, and if anything, they kind of told me to come back a little bit. Because you never had to push Stone Cold Steve Austin out, because, hell, I want to be at the top when I first got into wrestling. My goal wasn't to be the first match on the card, so...
In L.A., do you mind us asking what you're doing out there? Anything we should know about?
Oh, just hanging out, really killing some time.
Okay.
And just had some stuff going on in San Antonio, and then... just had some good news on the personal side, so I just thought I'd come out here and celebrate a little, actually.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Well, we're going to go to the phones real quick, if you don't mind.
You got it.
Sharma from Ohio. Sharma, you're on Bite This with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Go ahead.
Hey, Stone, how you doing?
Hey, how you going?
It's a real honor to talk to you, but you said that in the interview in WWE.com that you may have one more match left in your career. As a fan, there are actually two matches that pretty much every fan wants to see. Would you rather have a rematch with Shawn Michaels, or would you rather have a dream match with Goldberg?
Oh man, that's a tough call, and I just kind of I talk about maybe having that one more match, but that's a big maybe. But either one of those would be a coin flip. It'll really be two different matches. I mean, the one with Shawn, I've got so much of respect for the way that guy works in the ring, and he's one of the most talented guys to ever be in the ring. And I just got so much respect for him, his timing, the way he does things. On the other hand, the dream match between Stone Cold and Goldberg is a no-brainer, and I think it'd do good business. But like I said, I mean, I'd have to get a string of matches behind me, I think, than just to do a one-off. So, right. Man, who knows if that one-off will ever happen? But man, I never want to say never, but if I could put it all together and work out a little bit, maybe for WrestleMania 20, who knows? But I don't want to perform at a level that I'm not comfortable with, and people say, Jesus Christ, this guy sucks, he should have quit a long time ago. I never want people to say that about me, you know what I'm saying?
And we've always heard that from Stone Cold, that, back from those vignettes they used to run, that he's always said when his time is done, that's it, and, we've all heard that from him many times.
Steve, we were sitting around the other day and having this conversation, a bunch of us at TV, about all the great names in wrestling, like you, like Rock, like Undertaker, Triple H, Mick Foley, all these great guys. And in other sports, when these guys are done and they do somewhat of a farewell tour, and even on their last game, they get that last standing ovation, that last time that they get to tip their hat to the crowd that has loved them for so long. Unfortunately here, rarely do the superstars get to have that last match where you say, this is it. Do you feel like you wish that some of the great names could have that one last match that you know they're not wrestling anymore, so you can go out, have that last match, and get the ovation that you so rightly deserve?
Well, and I look at, remember Jim Brown, great running back.
Absolutely.
And NFL, and the guy played, I think he played, what, exactly 10 years, or was 8 years or 10 years?
Yeah,
but,
only 10 years, yep.
He run roughshod all over everybody, and he was a man among boys, and he just decided, hey, I've had enough, and he just quit. And I've always respected the guy for being able to walk away like that. Unfortunately, in this business, I don't know, it's, here, I don't know, you just get so hooked, so entrenched, so addicted to this thing, and you just love being in front of those people, and walking to an airport and people say, hey, I remember you back when you were Stunning Steve or in World Class Championship Wrestling. I mean, you love that so much and you cherish it so much, it's just like you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of when I took that hiatus back from the company a while back and I was gone for 8 months, I considered myself gone. I didn't have closure, but at least I was gone. And now I'm back. I just want to make it last as long as I can. And I've worked so hard to establish a fan base. I've had so many loyal fans, WWE fans, Stone Cold fans in particular, who stuck with me through every stupid thing I did, walking away from the company. When I got hurt, I took a year off. All that stuff was career suicide, and they just keep sticking with me. And believe me, man, I just give them everything I got when I get a chance to go out there and entertain them. So, hey, the big final send-off and hurrah, that's all good, and that's kind of a fantasy. Bottom line is I just want to stick around and just try to hang around and entertain the hell out of them doing this new gig.
Do you ever sit back, and maybe you have over the last couple of weeks, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it, when you got here several years ago and not knowing what was going to happen and then taking the rise to the heights that you did and becoming a household name, not just in wrestling, but really in all households, and then your career has kind of taken on new paths. Did you ever think that it would go in this many different directions?
No, I didn't, and I never know when people said, hey, is this what you thought it would be? No, I never knew what it was going to be. It was always just a work in progress of something that just happened, and now that it's over, it seemed like it went by so fast.
Yeah.
And it's just like, shoot, man, it's just this whole deal. I mean, I feel energy behind what we're doing right now. Me just from a personal Stone Cold part, there's a lot of things I like to say about the show, on a different time and day. But just as far as Stone Cold Steve Austin goes, the response I got the other day was phenomenal. It just shot me full of adrenaline. I got some good stuff coming out as far as shirts, stuff I want to do, stuff I want to say. So my career's taken a bunch of different directions through injuries and companies and stuff like that, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, we're certainly happy that you're back, and I think all the fans...
God, anything that's going to happen now with Stone Cold as being 50% general manager of Raw, him and Eric Bischoff, I can only imagine what's going to happen.
No, rumor was before you went back to San Antonio on Wednesday and Thursdays that you showed up here for work at Titan Tower, and you parked in Eric Bischoff's spot with your pickup truck. Is that true? That's what the rumor is.
I don't know. I picked a spot and parked in it. I don't know if it's Eric Bischoff's or not.
Well, just off the top of your head, if you could, I know you always think of a million ideas. What type of things do you think you plan on doing as a new general manager to really kind of spice things up on Raw?
Oh, man, I don't know. I got a couple of buddies that got fired, and I've got a couple of things that, like stuff within the I don't know, within the ring, some of the titles and stuff like that, just little things that I don't want to talk about on the phone. I want to start talking about this Monday, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But just kind of shake things up in general and be a damn shot in the arm as far as that show goes, and provide just attitude, adrenaline, and excitement, and my delivery, my conviction. And, hey, when I'm on that damn show, everything I say and do is 120% real to me. I know who and what we are, but I believe in what we do and what I do. And just so that feeling, that energy is felt throughout the whole show, and that everybody else follows suit and feels things and sees things and digests things the same way I do, and we end up making the whole damn 2-hour show 10 times better than it is right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know now that you're not traveling as much as far as wrestling 4 or 5 days a week, we saw earlier the clip of Rock telling the fans in Worcester that he was going to go away for a little while. Obviously, Rock does a lot of other things in Hollywood. Have you thought lately about possibly going back into TV a little bit? You've had plenty of roles in the past. Have you thought about maybe doing that now that you have a little bit more time on your hands?
You know, if something like that happens, that's cool, you know. And, you know, but what I really want to start doing, and I endorse that wholeheartedly if something like that happens. It's not like I'm a bust my ass trying to beat down doors in Hollywood to do that, because it's kind of a weird game out there, and I really don't care for it. If the opportunities come along, great. But what I want to do is like I said, I had a couple of T-shirt ideas the other day on the airplane ride. I want to further increase my merchandise stuff, the website. I want to be more hands on that, actually be completely in charge of it, and so that it's everything that I say and do and what I feel is on that website, and basically come out with like a clothing line, and you know, camouflage along with not only Stone Cold stuff but other stuff just that I envision in my head. And then I've always been a skull guy, just coming up with ideas and stuff like that. That's really what I'm kind of focused on right now.
Well, that's
cool.
great.
Very cool, yeah.
Well, Steve, we know that we've cut into your leisure time, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us here today on Bite This, and look forward to seeing you in Halifax, Nova Scotia. You know, we're sold out Monday night. I don't think it's any secret because you're going to be there, and I think the fans are expecting big things for you on Monday.
There's going to be some good stuff going on right there in the middle of the ring, and I guarantee you that. And that's guaranteed from Stone Cold Steve Austin. And you didn't cut into my leisure time. Like I said, I appreciate being on the show, and like I said, the response I got in Boston, everything I've been through, the GM thing now, I got to watch the four-letter expletive to explain how, you know, happy I am. Everything's going good on a personal and professional note, so I'm happy as a goddamn lark.
Well, that's fantastic.
Got it?
We got it, and we appreciate it. It's always great to talk to you and see you. You're obviously one of our favorites as well. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday, okay?
There will be plenty of hell raised and rules enforced in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and that's the bottom line. Why? Because Stone Cold said so.
He is the one and only Stone Cold Steve Austin joining us today on Bite This. He's always entertaining. You can listen to that guy for like an hour, 2 hours, all day long. Just let him go.
No doubt.
Just let him go. And, you know, he said, I don't know if you noticed, but he said that some things are going to happen on Monday. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I can't wait to find out.
But Stone Cold has always been a guy that's been about impact. And if this is going to be his first official night on Raw, you got to believe that there's going to be some impactful things happen.
No doubt. I can't even imagine. I'm trying to think when he mentioned a few things. I'm trying to think, well, you know, what could Stone Cold be talking about? And I think only Stone Cold knows what he's talking about.
Now let me ask you this, because next week on SmackDown,
yes,
we're also going to be in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So
Halifax.
Are you going to come in a few days early?
I think I just might.
Come to Raw
and
maybe see in person what Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to do.
It would be great to be there and see the impact that Stone Cold's going to make as 50% general manager of Raw. I mean, now you look at it, Eric Bischoff, like you said, Coach, he doesn't have the power anymore. He doesn't have 100% of the power. It's not his show anymore, and he's not going to be able to do what he wants. And we've seen him do that for the past almost a year now. And he's going to have hell to pay come this Monday.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Guys, great. Stone Cold Steve Austin has been on today. Sean O'Hare. We're still trying to get a hold of Taz, who he's in the hook at Baskins and Robbins. You know, they have now like 33 flavors.
I'm not saying anything.
You already did. You already said he was out getting ice cream earlier.
No. I said he's on a new diet. It's a brand new diet. I know all about it. No, he's probably in the hook beating people up. That's probably what he's doing right now.
He probably is. He probably is. Well, while we have a couple minutes, we'll go ahead and tell everybody where the WWE is going to be over the next couple of weeks, at least for Raw and for SmackDown. Of course, this week, both Raw and SmackDown are going to be in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Should be great to go up there. I've never been there before. I heard it's a great town. Beautiful city. So we'll be there this Monday and Thursday for SmackDown. Then next week, we're going to be in Philadelphia. Is Taz finally here?
Dr. Tom, we're not going to have Taz today.
Oh, we're not going to have Taz today.
Derby, I think.
Oh, because Taz is at Baskins and Robbins, as Josh already said.
Didn't say it. Never once came out of my mouth.
No, but Dr. Tom Pritchard, who normally sits in this seat each and every week, is joining us now, I believe, from Louisville, Kentucky. Is that right?
No, that is not right, Coach. I am in the beautiful, spacious Newark Airport, almost getting ready to board a plane to go to Memphis, Tennessee for a big camp this weekend in Dyersburg, actually.
Memphis, Tennessee. Well, we appreciate you, Dr. Tom, taking the time out to join us here. And you know that they said that they wanted me to replace you just this week, and I said that is not possible.
Well, let me just say this. I appreciate the fact that you would, about all the great people in invite this because I'm not able to be there this week and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, yeah, Coach, glad you and Josh are there. Hold on.
What's up, Dr. Tom?
Somebody calling. Huh?
Dr. Tom, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I just got done telling you, Josh. Weren't you listening?
I'm paying you to listen.
I'm in Newark Airport, pal.
How's it going there?
Yeah, it's going great, man.
Well,
I'm sure you guys are having a wonderful show. Have you talked to Austin yet?
Well, we just got done talking to Austin. He was great. He's fired up. He's in L.A. He's ready to raise some hell this coming Monday in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It should be great. We had Sean O'Hara on earlier as well. A tremendous. Droz was here, and then now you. So we've had a full hour, to say the least.
Outstanding. Hey, listen, Coach, before we go on, can I plug the towns this week?
Can you do what?
Plug the towns this week.
You go ahead. You do the shilling for Howard.
Yeah, that's a rib on Duda there. Anyway, okay.
We already hit a couple of towns. But, Tom, real quick, because you're always all over the place doing camps, doing things like that. What will your weekend entail in Memphis, Tennessee?
What does my weekend entail in Memphis, Tennessee?
What will your weekend entail in Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I got the question right.
Yes.
Well, someone's going to pick me up at the airport, hopefully.
Oh, now get to the point.
No. And the point is I'm going to be doing a wrestling camp for Sir Mo.
What goes into that? I'm trying to help the fans out to know exactly what goes into it.
Well, I can't exactly tell you. I have to show you, Coach. You have to come to one of our wrestling camps, man. I can't. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That must be a big announcement. Oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, look, all it's going to entail is me telling these guys what they need to do to get to the next level.
I've actually been to a wrestling camp when Dr. Tom was the trainer. It was a week long. Remember Dr. Tom in Cincinnati?
Oh, that was Cincinnati, but that was a totally different kind of camp. Yeah, that's a week long. This is just a weekend.
Oh, but it's same.
I thought you were going to say that was a weekling camp. If Josh was there.
No, wait, in a weekend camp, we have to pack 25 pounds of crap into a 2-pound bag. So the week we get to pack a lot more crap into stuff. So
right.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, we got turn the page just for a second, Dr. Tom, and not to bring the conversation down, but we were talking about a little bit earlier the unfortunate. I don't know if it was an accident or what the case may be as of yet of Miss Elizabeth yesterday. And what are your thoughts? Because obviously you've been around for a long time. Your thoughts on that unfortunate death yesterday?
Yeah, that was a big shock. Bruce, my brother Bruce, had called me and asked me if I had heard right about 11:30, and I hadn't. And I knew Elizabeth back when she was working for WWE through my connection with Bruce and Randy Savage. I'd known Randy early on in my career, and when I came up to visit, I wasn't yet working for WWE. That came years later, Coach. We would have dinner. And we would be around Randy and Liz quite a lot because Randy was doing a lot of voiceover work and a lot of work up in Stamford at that time. And, quite honestly, it's a cliche, but I'll say it anyway. She was a very nice person. She was pretty much laid back. And at the same time, to be around a guy like Randy Savage, you had to understand the mentality there. And I think it's one of those things she felt. I saw the way Randy was, and he was very possessive, and he was very he was a macho man, 24 hours a day. And I think that was part of a life that Liz only knew how to live. That was the only life she knew how to live, I think. And I'm not, I don't know, I don't want to speculate, and I don't want to guess on what happened, but
right.
I would just think that it's one of those unfortunate things that happens and happens way too often lately. And gosh, it was a shock. Like everything has been a shock lately. We almost get numb to it, but just to hear the rumors and some of the stuff going around yesterday, and then to just sit back and think about it is a little much right now. I'd rather wait and hear what comes out of the investigation, what comes out of the autopsy, and all I can say about Liz is she was always a class act when I was around her, and seemed like a very, very nice lady.
All right, very well said. Real quick, turning to a couple of other subjects as of late, we've seen especially, Dr. Tom, on SmackDown, and very few people get to see the work that you do behind the scenes, but a lot of the talent that really is, what I like to say, taking it to another level, has gone through our OVW system. and you're a guy that is very hands-on with the development of our talent. And you talk about guys like a Brock Lesnar, like Team Angle, Charlie Haas, and Shelton Benjamin, all these guys, Brian Kendrick. I know there's a million names that I'm missing, but it's got to make you feel kind of proud to watch these guys develop through the OVW system and come up here and really start to excel at the big-time level.
Yeah, one of the names that was just on the show would be Sean O'Hare, who's really come a long way. And I got to give credit to guys like Danny Davis, Jim Cornette, and Rip Rogers, because they're there with them all the time. I go down there once a month, stay a week, and look at evaluate the talent, evaluate where they are now, and it's amazing how much Rip and Danny put into the training and the advice and mentoring that goes on down there is really what I think these guys are looking for and what they need. And a guy like Sean O'Hare is his classic example, as is Brock Lesnar and John Cena. We saw it Backlash. John Cena is another guy who I think is highly underrated, and a lot of people said, well, he really didn't deserve to be in there with Brock, and I disagree 100%, especially after the match he gave with Brock Lesnar. But you're right, Coach. I am proud of everybody going down there, and everybody who's been there and makes their way up to WWE. We also, I don't know if you had a chance to meet her yet, but we had Nikita up here this past week. We brought her over to the studio yesterday.
I've not met her, and I think you purposely avoided me.
No, actually, we came looking for you. We introduced her to Mean Gene yesterday. She was actually asking about you and wondering where you were.
Well, don't they all? But you know, for some reason now, whenever girls are brought around the TV studio, they never come by my office. I can't figure it out. But maybe that's trying to tell me something, probably.
Right. Well, no, listen. Anytime we're in town, we're going to have some more OVW guys coming up and just showing everybody what the WWE machinery is like and the way things go on, from creative to the studio to how Howard plugs his towns on like this. So.
You know, it does feel as great of a show as we've had. And Josh has been so talkative for the entire hour. All he's doing is playing with his computer. Is that it's missing something without Howard shilling. And I haven't done this show in a long time. But Howard not shilling, I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, you are. You're missing a migraine. Yeah. We were going nuts last week because it was the longest show in the history of Bite This. Matt Hardy was on, and we just couldn't seem to wrap it up. So.
Well, that's kind of the trouble that Howard seems to have. You and I never had that problem when we hosted this show together.
No, you're right, because we both want to get the hell out of there.
Well, happy hour starts at 5, and with that being said, it's 4:59. And so you know where I have to get downtown.
You what?
I've got to get downtown. Happy hour starts in 1 minute.
Yes. Hey, you're right, man. Don't miss 1 minute of happy hour. Take Josh with you and teach him the right way to behave on the road.
I'll do my best. Good. Dr. Tom, it's always a pleasure, buddy.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it, and I'll be thinking about you on my way to Memphis tonight.
Oh,
Later,
you got
Tom.
it. Hey, tell the King we said hi.
I certainly will.
I don't know if you're going to go to that. If you're going to go to that bar tonight to see the King, but
well, I hope I don't.
That's another story for another time.
Exactly.
All right, travel safe, my friend.
We'll see you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Dr. Tom Pritchard on his way to Memphis, Tennessee, to do some training.
Home of Elvis Presley, by the way.
I know that. I'm glad you added something to the show today.
I'm just letting you know that's where Elvis is from. He's from Memphis.
You know, it's like we
Tennessee.
do. We do this show, and all Josh can think about is this video game that we have to our right that you can't see on screen.
And this is a big Friday.
You're just a big video screen.
This is a huge Friday. One, X-Men 2 comes out today.
X-Men 2 does come out
Huge,
today.
big deal about that.
Yes.
The Kentucky Derby is tomorrow.
Right.
I got a lot on my mind.
Well, your boy Big's at the Kentucky Derby today.
He is there.
If anybody's in Louisville watching Bite This right now, Big is in Louisville.
Oh, I'm sure Big's like the most famous person I've ever been around.
Yeah.
You go anywhere with this guy, he's like bigger than Stone Cold. He's as big as Stone Cold. It's amazing how many people know Big. It's great.
You know, I will tell this funny little story before we got time. I got a funny little story for you. And normally I don't like to put you over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to say a good story about you, but we're at WrestleMania.
What a shock.
We're at WrestleMania, and I'm a huge fan of Ashanti, as everybody probably knows, and Barry Manilow also. And Ashanti comes down looking hot as she can look. Obviously, 21 years old. She's young. Down comes Ashanti. I'm all set to watch her to watch her rehearse, get ready, and I was going to talk to her. Even though her mother and manager was there, I was like, I'm going to talk to Ashanti. She comes down. Who does she recognize? Oh, there's The Rock. Oh, there's Big. Oh, there's Josh from Tough Enough. Are you serious? Those are the only 3 people that Ashanti recognized. The Rock, Big, and Josh Matthews.
We're up there. It's like me and Rock and Big and, I don't know, so much.
I can't believe you just said that. You put your name in the same sentence with The Rock.
Well, Tough Enough was
that'd be kind of cool, though.
It was pretty cool,
Ashanti was hot.
You're telling me.
She was hot.
Yeah, we didn't talk at all.
You didn't get Ashanti's number?
No, never even said hello to her or anything. I think she was, I think she was a little taken aback by me.
Really?
I think that's what the problem was. I think she was nervous to talk to me. Yeah, that's
She's
what I'm going to tell
taller
everyone.
than you are.
She is taller. Well, there are a lot of people that are taller than me, Coach. I'm about 5'3".
All right, well, I'm going to let you go play your video game.
All right, well, we got lots to do. We got
Braz's
Braz's 2 cents on WWE.com, Tales from the Hook in WWE Magazine. In this month's WWE Magazine, Michael Cole has his retort.
I read it.
From the Ride from Hell.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Michael Cole's retort to Taz on the very back page of the WWE Magazine.
Or if you read it backwards, it's the very first page.
You're an idiot.
That's true, though.
You are an absolute idiot. Who's going to be on next week? Do we know?
We're hoping for Roddy Piper.
All right, we're hoping. We'll give a little bit of a tease. Don't quote me, but we might have Roddy Piper on next week. I don't think I'll be here. Will I be here?
If you want to be.
I don't
This is the first time the shows ran on time. In
really? We're first time on time, and Howard's not here. And all right, well, maybe I'll be here next week. Who knows? We'll find out. But, folks, don't forget Raw this Monday night in Halifax, Nova Scotia, live, of course, 9 o'clock, 8 Central on the new TNN.
SmackDown's there, too.
Yeah, we're going to be at SmackDown next Thursday. We'll be in the same place as well. I don't want to plug your show.
And then we're in Baltimore the following week.
Of course, go to WWEShopZone.com for all your favorite Stone Cold Steve Austin merchandise. And, of course, in the next couple months, Stone Cold, as he just said, should have some new merchandise on ShopZone.com as well.
Good, that's the stuff that
But we thank you for joining us. We thank Stone Cold Steve Austin, Sean O'Hare, Droz, and Dr. Tom Pritchard for joining us today on Bite This. For Josh Matthews, I am the coach. As we leave you today, we're going to take a look back at one of the memorable scenes of Miss Elizabeth from SummerSlam 1991. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday night.